Welcome, everyone. What we'll be covering here is a little story here about a different kind of company, a company with a different kind of vision. The name of that company is Univera. It stands for One Truth. It's one of the biggest scientific breakthroughs of our lifetime. They're applying pharmaceutical science to natural products, able to help the human body today in the aging process. There's something called a metabolic makeover that you're going to hear about, where you're able to reset your metabolism back 10, 15, even 20 years for some people. The story that we'll go through will be the history behind this, how it got started, the science behind it, and the actual products that can be life-changing for people. So all we need to do is just go through and show you what's going on, and hopefully it'll make sense to you. But Bill Lee is now the owner and chairman. He's the individual in the center you see there. The whole story started with his father, the bronze bust you see on the far left, Yun-Ho Lee. Back in the mid-'80s, he got very ill. He was an industrialist in South Korea, very successful. But when he got ill, someone had introduced him to the aloe vera plant. He got better. He was so moved and impressed by what that one plant was able to help, do for him, that he decided that he was going to spend the rest of his life, his legacy, everything to bring the best in nature to humankind. He realized if that one plant had helped him, that there had to be thousands and thousands of other medicinal plants all over the world that people have used for centuries for different ailments. So that was his quest to go out and do that. He since passed away. The legacy now is continued with his son, Bill Lee, in the center, and it's also his mission in life as well. A culture of service, another unique thing about Univera. To date, they take profit from the company, and what they do is they help children all over the globe with nutritional needs. And to date, they're closing in on 4 million children already. So that's a continuing goal, another thing that makes the company unique. Once again, everything's at pharmaceutical science applied to plants. Efficacy means that there's enough of everything in it, each product, that actually does what it's supposed to do. So, in some cases, that's unique today. But potency, Univera's science enables them to guarantee the level of potency. And they apply the same kind of research and development that you'd find in a traditional pharmaceutical company. The approach, basically has never been done before in the natural products industry. So they've really been able to raise the bar as far as that's concerned. Univera's global resources are unmatched. Unigen is the pharmaceutical company that does all the research and development. Aloe Corp does the farming, NatureTech the manufacturing, and Univera does all the business development and marketing. But, let's talk a little bit here about Unigen. It goes back to the beginning of the genomic age, back in the mid-'90s. That was the same year that scientists mapped the human genome. But it was also the same year that Unigen started using genomic science on medicinal plants. They also have 50 full-time scientists, 30-plus PhDs that are constantly sharing information. They have 2 DNA genomic labs. One's in South Korea, one's in the United States. They're passing this information knowledge back and forth all the time. The products are engineered to work at the cellular DNA level. Once again, a unique breakthrough. Aloe Corp produces already over 40% of the world's aloe vera. Most people think aloe is something you use for your skin if you burn or have a rash or something. But if you look that up, it does thousands of times more in the human body. They already have 10,000 organically farmed acres. They have farms in the United States, in Mexico, South Korea, China. They even have a 100,000-acre botanical reserve in Russia that they don't even touch. They're in 7 different time zones in case anything goes on globally, that they'll always have what they need. NatureTech is, like I said, it's the manufacturing part. There's a 250,000-plus square foot state-of-the-art manufacturing facility. And it's not only GMP approved, which stands for Good Manufacturing Practices. That's the best you can have, folks, in manufacturing. But they also did something unique. Univera voluntarily complied to the same standards that the FDA used for pharmaceutical companies. That has not been done before. So they've really raised the bar, on their approach to what they do as far as a company. At that point, they didn't know how they were going to bring it to market. They realized they could not put it on a shelf somewhere. There's no way that someone could explain, the benefits, the science behind this. So what they did was they set up Univera, does all the business development, the marketing, and they did it through relationship marketing. They decided that people should actually try the product, use it, get the benefit from it, and then go out and share it with other people. And the way that's primarily done is through a webinar like this is, where people get the same information. They get all the facts so they can make intelligent decisions about choices that they want to make with their life. Unigen's leading edge in science. Once again, they have the largest medicinal plant library in the world. There's no other library like this anywhere on the planet. To date, they've gathered over 18,000 medicinal plants that societies had used for, generations, centuries. Got different benefit from these plants. They didn't know why maybe they were getting them, but what Unigen did was they put them through their two DNA genomic labs. And when they broke them down, they found that there was 300,000 additional plant fractions that they were able to find. Fractions are just other natural compounds that can help the human body. And like I said, there's two fully staffed DNA genomic labs, one in South Korea, one in the United States, have the top equipment you could possibly have anywhere in the world today. They also have 195 patents already. A typical vitamin nutritional company may not have any or just a handful. They have 195 patents awarded already and pending. They have spent millions and millions and millions of dollars in the research and development to bring the best in nature to humankind. The other thing unique that they did was they applied pharmaceutical science to natural products using double-blind, placebo-controlled human clinical trials. And they used all these human trials on all the patented compounds that they've been able to come up with so far. So once again, the science behind it is incredible. Univera basically is into preventative care today. A pharmaceutical company treats symptoms. What Univera does is, for their science is, they're trying to prevent, different things going on in the body, and they do it through natural products, natural plants. It's not to put down anything that's done in pharmaceuticals, but it's an alternative. The fact that you're able today to actually use natural plants. The body is made to assimilate plants. It knows what to do with them. Sometimes it doesn't know what to do with a pharmaceutical, so it's an alternative for people, who are concerned and want to go in that direction. Stephen Chernesky, he's the chief science officer. In my opinion, he's the top guru on anti-aging human metabolism. But a natural biochemist and health educator, Stephen's the best-selling author of several books on aging and health, including The Metabolic Plan, Caffeine Blues, The DHEA Breakthrough, and he's collectively sold over 1 million copies already. But Stephen consulted with members of the U.S. Olympic team, served on the faculty of the American College of Sports Medicine. He taught clinical nutrition at UCLA Department of Continuing Education in Health and Science, and directed the nation's first federally licensed clinical laboratory, specializing in nutrition and immunology. He's appeared on numerous TV shows and magazines, including Time, U.S. News World Report, and even on Oprah. But the story is that Bill Lee had read Stephen's book on DHEA, was so impressed with it that he went to him and said, how would you like to prove all your theories on aging and human metabolism? Well, the rest is history. But DHEA, in case you don't know what that is the most prevalent hormone in the human body. An 18-year-old manufactures about 50 milligrams a day, and something unique starts to happen as we age. Stephen said we go through 3 phases in our life. Every species on this planet does, to be born, reproduce, and to die. And, that last part was something I wanted to have control over. I didn't want to be in a nursing home one day, shoved up against a wall or hospice or something, if there was any way I could, avoid it whatsoever. But DHEA, around age 25 to 30, we start to lose it. At age 40, you've lost 50%. By age 60, 70, you're down to 10 or 15. the good thing is that you're able to replenish and put that back in the body today. The book you see up on the far right is Stephen's newest book. It's all about energy, The Metabolic Makeover. What an incredible book. I'm going to recommend that you go to Amazon, get this book, read it cover to cover over and over again. He starts out by explaining the food supply and, the history of it and, some of the problems that we have today because there's, a limited number of nutritional value that people are actually getting from it. I know back in 1995, there was an Earth Summit in Brazil. It had to do with soil depletion. The United States was the worst country in the world as far as depletion. It was already 85% depleted back then. In fact, what used to be what you would get potassium-wise in a bowl of oats, it now took 3 or 4 bowls to get that same amount. And so he goes through what foods are good for you, what foods you should maybe stay away from, and realize that what's going on today. But the body needs help, folks. At the turn of the century, 1 person in 20 died of cancer. Today, 1 out of 4 will die from it. You have kids today being tested at earlier and earlier ages for different things. I mean, 11-year-olds are being tested for high cholesterol, for diabetes, for heart disease. I saw something recently about autism, how it was up 1,000% in just the last few years. I mean, the body needs help, and it needs it big time. So if you're willing to watch what you eat, that's something fantastic you can do for your longevity. But he talks in the back of the book about longevity. He said if you want to have it, you have to do exercise. The reason is you need to create muscle mass. Muscle mass is imperative that you do it. I know that's what was the demise of my own mother-in-law. For the last 20 years of her life, she was in decline. At the end, she had no muscle mass. They put her in a nursing home. They went to move her. Bone broke. She had a blood clot, and that was the end of it. He said, you have to have muscle mass. He said, but most people hate to exercise. So he covers in the back of the book something called high-intensity interval training. It's something you can do in only 4 minutes a day to help maintain cardio and muscle mass. And as soon as he said 4 minutes, I was in for that deal because I hated to exercise. But there's a gentleman named Tabata, T-A-B-A-T-A. Back in the 90s, he worked with the Japanese Olympic team. They proved that if you'll work out a certain high-intensity way, you can create more muscle mass, more cardio in a short period of time than someone who's running miles and miles or on a treadmill for hours. And it's very simple. It doesn't matter if you're sedentary. It doesn't matter if you have a physical disability. There's thousands and thousands of programs today. If you just Google HIIT, high-intensity interval training, or Tabata, you'll see all the programs. But like I said, it doesn't matter what your health condition is. Pick 4 things. And the way it works is you just do something for 20 seconds, rest for 10, 20-10, 20-10, 20-10. Do it twice. That's 4 total minutes. And it can be life-changing for you as far as creating muscle mass and your cardio that you need. So anytime you start a exercise program, just make sure you check with your physician first. But I promise you there's something there that you can do. The whole idea is just get started. You've heard before, a trip of 1,000 miles starts with just the first step. And so if you're willing to just watch what you eat, look at the metabolic makeover, reset your metabolism, and do a little bit of exercise, folks, it can do wonders, for your future longevity and, the aging process itself. Now, Stephen also has said that, the problem is the aging process. It's not the high cholesterol and high blood pressure and all that stuff. It's the fact that our DNA is already programmed to age. It's part of that dying process. The neat thing is the body has an incredible capacity to regenerate itself. And, my wife being a nurse has always said that. You give the body what it needs, it can help regenerate itself. So you're able today to actually slow down or even reverse the aging process. And, there's things you can do about it. And like I mentioned, if it's what you eat, the metabolic makeover and exercise, these are the things you can do. But how is that possible? Well, it's possible real simply because every single day of our lives, we regenerate between 300 billion and a trillion new cells every day. Now, if we do nothing, those cells are going to get weaker automatically. It's programmed in the DNA. We don't even have to worry about it. That's what's going to happen. Or we can make some choices in life, and those choices are that we can decide that we want to reverse that. And we're able to actually rebuild and repair and create energy rather than damaging and breaking down and have no energy. So we can push down on damage and up on repair. Most people think that has to do with your genetics, who your parents and grandparents were. Well, some of that's true, 35% of it anyway. The other 65% is entirely up to the choices that we make. And once again, if you're willing to watch what you're eating, if you're willing to do the metabolic makeover, reset your metabolism, and do some exercise, these are things we can control. These are choices that every one of us has the ability to do. And in life, it's entirely choices that we do make. But thank God today there's science out there that's proven that we're able to do something about it. So you want to make sure that those 300 billion to a trillion new cells every day are being as healthy as possible. And, you can do something about the damage that's being done, through free radicals and everything else that's attacking the body every day. And then if you're willing to do something about it, it can actually be life-changing for you. But what we're actually trying to do is actually shift that aging metabolism from one of damage to one of repair. This product here, there's no better way to do it. It's an incredible, phenomenal product. It's called Extra, and it's all about energy, and it's all about pushing down on damage and up on energy so that you can actually rebuild and repair. But this product, it's already been proven to reduce the rate of DNA damage in as little as 14 days. It's already been proven to do that. So it's critical for energy and mental clarity and focus. It helps with stress, which is a major issue in the human body today, and promotes joint comfort and flexibility. Just 1 ounce of this product a day has already been proven to repair and reduce DNA damage in as little as 14 days. ORAC score, 4,500. ORAC score is how many antioxidants are in a product to fight off free radical damage being done every day. The average American diet only has 12 to 1,500 ORACs in it. You need a minimum of 3,000 to 4,000 just to break even from what's being done. But just 1 ounce has 4,500 ORACs in it. That's equal to 10 servings of fruits and vegetables. How many times have you heard, on a food chart, you need to eat 8 to 10 servings of fruits and vegetables? Nobody does that. 1 ounce, at least hardly anybody does it, but 1 ounce of Extra is equivalent to 10 servings of fruits and vegetables. That larger bottle you see up here on the left, that's a concentrate. My wife and I will take 2 ounces of that in the morning, and we'll drink one of these little mini bottles here. These bottles look like the same energy-type bottles that they sell in stores. Only these are good for you. The ones in the stores have caffeine and sugar and a lot of other things that are not good for the body. But just 1 ounce of Extra, 1 ounce, and we take 3 ounces, so we get 3 times the DNA repair. We get almost 14,000 ORACs, and we're getting 30 servings of fruits and vegetables. You can too, folks. It's just a choice and an option that you have in your life. But what an incredible product here. It's already been proven through clinical trials. It has an award-winning formulation in it. It's called Protectin. It has 6 international patents and 5 human clinical trials to back it up. And, what it's done is it provides energy at that cellular level for those 300 billion to a trillion new cells every day. This is just a little chart here showing you what an ORAC score looks like in relation to some other products. Orange juice, for example, for an ounce is 223. Noni and Acai and some of these other juices that have been touted out there, for being healthy for you. And the average American diet between 12 and 1,500. Just 1 ounce of Extra has the antioxidant protection of 4,500 ORACs. What an incredible product. But once again, this is the metabolic makeover. What happened here was through the 18,000 plants that they've already collected, medicinal plants, the 300,000 fractions where they found the additional natural compounds, they came up with 5 synergistic products to address the complex needs of the actual aging process, products that you can see and feel and measure that really make a difference in your life. And, these 5 products have been put together, like I said, synergistically. They all work in combination with each other to have a tremendous effect on the human body. Aloe is the second part of the metabolic makeover. We've already covered that in the beginning, but they grow 40% of the world's aloe. Aloe Select that you see here, they've actually been able to target the sweet spot in the aloe plant. And when they did that, what it did was it improved the actual ability to absorb nutrients that you are getting from the food 3 times more than anything else that's ever been on the market before. But aloe, it helps maintain a healthy GI tract. That's your gut. And it's been well known and documented that 70 to 90% of all disease begins in the gut because that's where your immune system resides. So when you combine that with the extra and these other products, what a fantastic way to help the body. Regenifree. Regenifree is also a product, for some of the ailments that we go through. There was a Time magazine article back in 2001 or 2002 about inflammation, the secret killer in the human body, and how it could affect the aging process itself. But Regenifree helps address those problems. Rhythmatic, for heart health. There's 50,000 miles of blood vessels in the human body, and it's pumping blood around your body thousands of times every day. Rhythmatic supports cardiovascular health. It promotes good circulation and helps maintain healthy vein structure. So that's a fantastic product for heart health. Level G was developed from genomic research. It improves the pathways to burn fat and help maintain normal blood glucose levels. That'll help give you a more consistent energy throughout the day and also provides additional antioxidant protection. So these are the 5 synergistic products, like I said, that were put together to help reset your metabolism 10, 15, even 20 years for people. And the other thing that they did that is totally unique is they said, prove it to yourself. So they have issued a challenge. There's absolutely no risk whatsoever. For 90 days, take all the products that you want to take. And at the end of 90 days, if you don't see, feel, and measure a difference, you get all your money back. So there's 100% no risk. So it's a 90-day guarantee. The only thing they ask is you keep the empty bottles in a box. You ship them back. You pay the shipping, but then they pay everything else back. And so there's no risk whatsoever. So the 2 things that they say is either you're going to get your money back, no risk, or you're going to get your life back, which is more important than anything else. So also the statements that have been made have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. The products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. That being said, Univera science has already proven to aid in the actual aging process. So what I'm going to highly recommend that you do is realize, what the potential here is. Univera also has 30-some other plus products already dealing with skin care, weight loss. Any targeted products that we have can help the body in other ways. But realize that you can make a difference, and all you have to do is get back to the person who introduced you to the information that you're seeing here today. I just recommend just choose an entry path, either as a customer or an associate. Ask them to explain, how you can have the costs of all these life-changing products paid for, and also how Univera Associates can receive free products as well as generate an income by sharing this information with others. So once again, get back to them and prove it to yourself. There's nothing to lose. Hopefully you'll do that.